Welcome to another segment of the Dr. Martin Show. My special guest today is Miss Dee Barker,
Hello.
also known as the First Lady of Dance and Two-Step in Kansas City. What an honor for Dee to be here with us today. And Dee, why don't you share a little information about the whole history of Two-Step, and we'll get into why it's important to move the body and the health benefits that are associated with it.
What I know from being a child of the 70s, it was introduced to us by our older cousins, brothers, aunties, uncles in the 60s, and it used to be like a rite of passage. When you go off to high school, you better know how to two-step.
Right.
Because you had to be cool, and that was part of the makings of you being cool. So from those days in the 60s and 70s, it was taught. You know, we did it in the basement, we did it in the park, we did it in the on the front porch. We did it just after we eat dinner on Sunday at Big Mama's house.
The blue night specials and the parties
Right,
in the basement.
right.
Yes,
The quarter, just like on Cooley High.
Oh, yes.
It was a part of our mainstay, our family tradition. It was a part of us getting together to embrace each other and have fun with each other and create good memories.
Okay, and so we talk about two-step, and we know that there are a lot of forms of stepping because we have the Chicago step, and you know there's like a different type of cha-cha, three-step type of dance, whatever. But there's nothing like the Kansas City two-step, and when you see it, it's just very classy. It's very elegant. I love to dance. Have always loved to dance, and will dance by myself.
Right.
You know, you don't have to have a partner to be able to two-step, but it is important that you know. But along with that, you're also doing a lot of line dancing in the city. Can you share with us what you believe has started that whole era of people wanting to line dance? Because I've been places, I can remember seeing people who were 70 and 80 years old. We see a lot of videos with our mature people who are still dancing, those who used to dance younger. When they were younger, they are not just sitting down now, they are actually dancing. So that whole line dancing piece, that whole two-stepping piece, there's something for everyone. And the most important thing is that we're getting our bodies to move. I always say a body in motion stays in motion. And if you've ever been in her presence, you've seen that Dee can do it all.
It used to make me dance for his friends, so that was the catalyst. And then I took, you know, gymnastics back in the day, and tap and jazz and things like that. But yeah, people are line dancing. It kind of started when the women were sitting down, because the partner dance, when people were, you know, in different cities, the partner dances, some of the women did not. If they came there single, they didn't get to dance. So the line dance became more popular as the years went on. And then it got popular here in Kansas City because we made it a point, myself and other people, go to other cities, and we have a lot of people in other cities that line dance, and so we start networking with them in Indianapolis and Miami and Detroit and ATL and different places, South Carolina. You know, we partner with other people in Toledo, Ohio, so other places, and we partner with these people, and we learn their dances that were choreographed in their city, and then we choreograph dances here in Kansas City and take them out of town. So that was, you know, back in 2007 is when I started going to different places, to different cities that have organized line dance teams, and so we partnered up with them and traded, you know, steps and choreography, and then we started teaching it in the community centers, and had that attachment with the community centers, Southeast and Mary Kelly, and so it spun from there, and people started looking at it, and you go out and you're two-stepping, but you're also in between the two steps. You're able to line dance, people that want to get up and move a little more, you know, because it serves as therapy. Two-stepping serves as a conversation and dance by the Rodney and Stinson's documentary. It's an art form, you know, that's why the Nelson's Atkins has embraced it, because it's a form of art. And so and then the line dance kind of goes with that night of fun, because you do the two-step for that type of dance, and then you have the dance in line, and you have
everyone can get on the floor.
Everyone
Absolutely. So you spoke about the Nelson, and I know most recently they celebrated Juneteenth.
They did.
And you were a part of that great celebration, which will be archived in history there. And I know that you do many activities at the Nelsons on Friday nights or on Thursday nights, whenever there's an opportunity. What I noticed in the last video or the taping that they did with the activities for Juneteenth is that people were two-stepping, but you were telling them the importance of the man leading and the lady following, and how people could be creative in what they were doing, so that no two-steppers would look alike. Right, absolutely.
The beauty of it is the creativity by the individual side.
Yes. And I know that you have an event coming up, but what I want to talk about before we get to that is our young people, because I know that I've seen you over the years encourage young people to dance and to teach our young people. We don't want to lose this art, this art form. So if we don't pass it on, it's going to stop. So we'll be gone, or we'll be moving in our seats, and then there's no one to carry the legacy. So tell us about how you're getting young people involved. And I know that your granddaughter is going to be a premier dancer. Yes, is going to be a premier dancer and focusing, and you're going to highlight her on your next engagement of two-stepping. So let's talk about how you got the young people engaged in the process.
Well, there's some young people that like dance, period. They do their dance steps that they do of late, but then they're also interested in creating a different segment in their arsenal of some other dance, you know. And they're like me, some of them. Well, I don't want it to be a dance in this city, in my city, and I don't know how to do it. And so that the partner dance, some of them are doing that, have embraced the two-step because they like the pattern, and they like the social grace that the guy has to say, may I have this dance? So he's learning how to say may I. You know, believe it or not, some young kids don't say may I anymore. So it's kind of a social grace. The mayor, and I'm going to call him on this, has told me one time we were at the Arts Tech doing one of the youth night programs that he had, and he said, when you get the kids on the two-step, let me know. So I'm calling him out on that. I've talked to the councilman. Councilman Barnes has gave me an award last year for keeping it alive, helped to keeping it alive in the city. So I'm letting them know that the youth have embraced it. They want to give us their rendition here Saturday night, and they've been going through the music, you know, clean music versions, of course, and they've adapted it in their lifestyle as a part of their, you know, everyday. And then they can, you know, interact with their grandparents, their older uncles, cousins, and all that. So it becomes a family tradition again, and it becomes a family camaraderie type of engagement. So that's what I'm on, and you know, the kids have something they can do with older people, and you know, not rely on the streets to give them that entertainment or to give them that family sense of family. You know, the family can once again get in the basement or get in the backyard and two-step together.
And I can recall as a child being able to dance with my father. You know, I used to dance on his toes. He loved music, and you know, and he could two-step. And then my brothers and I would two-step together, and so it was something that generations that we did in our family, and teaching not only our siblings but you know, cousins and relatives how to keep it alive. I've watched you throughout the city. I've watched you be engaged with the Health Consortium as it relates to cancer and diabetes. I know that you are there and that you're actively engaging our community in how to keep their bodies moving, because we know that a body in motion stays in motion, as I said earlier, and that you have some great results and testimonies of people who have been on medication, but because they're active and moving by dancing, because it's something that they like. They've seen those numbers decrease. Some of them have probably been able to come off certain medications, but more importantly, they're keeping their bodies moving.
And it's therapeutic.
And it's therapeutic,
I've had accounts of people being depressed or on the verge of depression, and they've, you know, the camaraderie that they have at these classes and stepping sets, they've been able to, you know, partner up with people as far as talking about the dance, being therapeutic and relieving stress, different things of that sort. And we still keep some of that old school music around. And the kids, going back to them, sometimes they see the movies, the different movies that come out, and they have a bit of the old school music in it. And they hear that old school music, and their parents and grandparents, and so now they, you know, thinking about stepping to it, and then they grab on the new school music of today, and some of the R&B beats and tracks are some of the same, you know, because they sample some of the old school music and this new music, and so they see that, and so and they embrace that, and they come alive, and they, you know, say, hey, I can two-step to that. So that's what grabs them, and it takes us to another level. You know?
And so as we're moving forward, I want you to tell me a little bit about the group I Dance with D.
Dance with D.
And how did you get to Dance with D?
Well, there's been a lot of people over the years that have danced with D. We just have an organized group that's called I Dance with D. Started with the Casey Coolers years ago, and it was the CEO of that, and then it broke off into a high performance dance group, D Unit, and it was 7 women that commanded the stage, the floor, and we'd go out to those networking with those other groups, Common Ground, and New Hustle Generation, and Glass City steppers and dancers, and so D Unit was a smaller group, but we branched out and performed from that, and then when I left Pete's Place, then I started dancing and just dancing, you know, with the D Unit, and then other people would dance with me and through the classes, and so then we formed another group, and it became I Dance, because somebody asked Tracy Weaver one day, well, where'd you learn that dance? She said, I dance with D. And so that became the organization. And so we have vowed to keep our passion alive with it and teach others and move forward in it and make it something of an upbeat.
Well, I've certainly had the pleasure of dancing with D, not with D Unit or the organization, but with Tracy, with Nicole. I love my Kimmy, and with you. And so I just acknowledge and say thank you, because, you know, I went through some health issues, and it was because I wasn't talking about it when I was dancing with Tracy and Nicole, but Kim knew what was going on. You knew what was going on, you know, and so it helped me to recover. And so that's what you do. So I thank you for reaching out to the community. Lastly, we know that you have a great event that's coming up this weekend. So let's talk about that a little bit and share information about how people can get in contact with you.
All right, the Big Step Off. This is the 13th annual. It started with a documentary by Rodney Thompson and Stinson McClendon, and they did a documentary about two-step, and it was in 2003. And so, and then they did it in 2005, and we had winners, first, second, and place winners. So it stemmed from that, and I just kept it alive. When they started doing other things, they made films about the McFadden Brothers and My Mother's Club and the Westport. So they made other films, and then I just kept, since I was the coordinator of the first one, and so I was the one engaged with the community enough to get the contestants together. They had the video equipment and the brainstorm, and I was in touch with the community to get the contestants. So, and to establish a relationship with all of the contestants and judges, and, you know, we've become family. And so this is the 13th annual, so we have a $10,000 prize and cash package for first, second, and third place. It'll be 7 couples. We've changed, the judges this year has changed the scoring. It's like the bracket, the NCAA, how they have the bracket. So they've got to do two-step battles to knock each other out the box. So
So who gets the votes? I mean, how does the vote come in?
The judges score. The judges score, and the crowd participates. It is. The crowd participates. The crowd is an integral part of you know, when they see the couples dancing, they get excited, and that, you know, it gets the couples motivated, and so then you see them moving, you know, better and with more creativity, and, you know, it's entertainment, but it's also making sure that we keep the basic two-step in our community, and we branch off of that, but we have the foundation of the basic two-step right here, and it's going to stay here.
Okay, and so if people wanted more information, the Gym Theater.
The Gym Theater.
How do they get in contact with you if they like to attend?
They can Google me in D Barker, D with 1 E, Barker, as in Bob Barker, for those of you who don't remember. But yeah, and 816-446-0169. The Big Step Off, the 13th annual at the Gym Theater. Saturday is a part of the Juneteenth KC festivities. At 5 p.m. the doors open, and the general admission is $20, and then VIP is $35. Well worth every bit of it. Nice show. And
the proceeds go to the winners.
The winners and the Diabetes Association.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, well, thank you so much for the information. I always close my segment with saying, first of all, thanks to our sponsors and thanks to our partners for allowing us to continue to provide information for the community. But what's even more important is that we always talk about the importance of change and being change agents, but we know that if we're going to be a change agent, we have to be the change that we want to see.
We do.